ears gonna hear me. Through the spirit we see clearly. They swinging if you get near me. Now your boy blowing the trumpet. I used to pull up and dump it. Toting them guns out in public. Riding on up, that was fun shit. Boy, I don't flex for the IG. Wanna go script to script, nigga, try me. Keep a scallop, but he right beside me. To break the laws of God, I don't like things.
Alright, first and foremost, I want to give call halal, Yahweh, by Hashem HaMashiach Yahweh Shai. It's all praises to the Heavenly Father. My name is only begotten Son, Lord, and we call Jesus Christ. We're out of the Bay Area. The Sakari second, the peace and downfall of America, aka Babylon the Great. And peace, and prosperity, and salvation to the 12 tribes of Israel, who are the so-called Negroes, Hispanic, Native Americans scattered abroad, and come back to this truth and their nationality, man. And these days, it's pretty simple to just judge people and things like that, but we got to internalize things and examine ourselves along the way, because obviously we can get caught up in, we already here, we're in the truth, we're doing what's right in the eyes of God. But every day things can change. Your spirit can adapt to certain things that's going on. It gets you down. You might treat somebody differently a certain way. You're still in the truth, but at the end of the day, some other people need help with certain aspects, and that's why we got to bear each other's burdens as well. People might look from the outside looking in and think, oh, all we do is yell at people and point the finger at people, which is what we're supposed to do. But we got to adapt and change, and like I said, get better at what we do. Teaching wise, relationship wise, dealing with people, because life is all about people to begin with. But give me this first, and then I'm gonna start going into it. Give me that.
Job 5:17. Behold, happy is the man whom God corrected.
Happy is the man whom God corrected, because when you're being corrected, it means what? The Most High might stop you from doing something that might be detrimental to you in the future, or like I said, he might be saving your life down the line as well. Because every decision the Most High has you make is obviously his own will, but you might think it's a negative thing when you go through affliction, but at the end of the day, it's to get you better, to build up your character, to get you stronger. You give me that?
Therefore despise not thou the chastening of the Almighty.
Don't despise the chastening that the Most High puts affliction on you, because we're going to get into it. It says what? What the Most High chastens he loves. We're going to read that in a second. Give me that, Psalm 26:1. Give me that.
Proverbs chapter 3 verse 11. My son, despise not the chastening of the Lord, neither be weary of his correction. Kind. For whom the Lord loveth, he corrected.
Whom the Lord loves, he corrects. And we as his children, the holy people of God, we're so far removed from our righteous heritage and holy sanctification back in the day. The Most High got to correct us and chastise us every day, because as a nation, we're going to hell off. Go ahead.
Even as a father, the son in whom he delighteth.
Even as a father who he delights. The Most High delights in us. We're the apple of his eye, but guess what? We're still wicked as hell in certain aspects. Especially the 2/3, so guess what? We all got to get judged. But even though he delights in us, he's still going to punish us. Go ahead.
Happy is the man that findeth wisdom.
Happy is the man that finds wisdom. Read.
And the man that getteth understanding. For the merchandise of it is better than the merchandise of silver, and the gain thereof than fine gold. She is more precious than rubies, and all the things that canst desire are not to be compared unto her.
Anything you desire is not compared unto wisdom. The Most High's wisdom at that, the laws of God. Because that's what we got to come back to as a nation. That's when we fell off from. That's why we're getting chastised. When we get wisdom, that's when the Most High is going to have delight in this as well. Go ahead.
Length of days is in her right hand, and in her left hand riches and honor.
So yeah, if you want to go after riches before you get wisdom, Most High might not grant it to you. But if you get wisdom before that, that's when it comes hand in hand. That wisdom is going to bring you riches as well, because the Most High can make you poor and rich in a day. And obviously he's going to be more inclined to do it when you're keeping his laws and his commandments. Read.
Her ways are ways of pleasantness, and all her paths are peace.
All her paths are peace. When you get wisdom, all those paths that you're on right now, keeping the laws of God, being steadfast, being 10 toes down, as they say, all the ways of that wisdom is going to bring you peace. Read.
Verse 18. She is a tree of life to them that lay hold upon her.
Wisdom is a tree of life to people that lay hold upon her. Read.
And happy is everyone that retaineth her.
Happy is everyone that retains her. So that's what we're happy about. Even though we know that, makes your belly bitter when you understand what's going to happen. But in the day, us being prophets of God and teaching this word on a daily basis, uplifting our people, correcting our people when necessary, we're going to be happy in that day, because, hey, we're doing the right thing. And it's about the long run. We're not trying to chastise you so we can continue to curse you out. We're hoping for you to get better. And that's what people got to examine themselves at. We're doing this for everybody else and ourselves, so we can get better as well. Give me that. Give me read the first and second verse. Read.
Psalms 26:1. Judge me, O Yahweh, for I have walked in my integrity.
This is King David. King David said he's walking in his integrity. What does integrity means? What? You're pretty much trustworthy. You have character in a sense. You have a strong sense of what's the word I'm looking for? Basically, you can trust. He's trustworthy. Exactly. You're doing right when somebody's not watching over your shoulder. Go ahead.
I have trusted also in Yahweh. Therefore, I shall not slide.
We're trusting Yahweh. Therefore, we will not slide. Read.
Examine me, O Yahweh, and prove me. Try my reins in my heart.
That's what David was asking for. That's why he was after the Most High's own heart, because he asked for the Most High to try him, put him to the test, put him under a microscope, as we may say. And that's why the Most High was pleased with him. That's why he forgave him for the adultery aspect. Even though he killed his son, he was supposed to be put to death. The Most High didn't do it, but for the most part, that's going to show how much the Most High loved King David. Because he asked the Most High to try his heart in the reins of his mind, how his thoughts were working out. And that's where integrity comes in, like I said, when the Most High obviously has people overseeing the nation, or priests and elders, things like that. And as a king, you need people that's going to hold you accountable, things like that. Even though he committed adultery, but Most High was like, hey, he's a man after my own heart. He's probably the closest person that's ever going to get there, outside of Idolatry, obviously. So the Most High was like, hey, I'm just going to put you to the test and see how you act. He failed at that one act, but the Most High still forgave him. And that's what we got to be used to. Like, even though he failed certain things, the Most High is always going to have grace and mercy if you're on the right side of things, keeping the law. Give me Mark 2 Corinthians 13:5. Read that.
Ecclesiasticus chapter 2, verse 4 through 9. Whatsoever is brought upon thee, take cheerfully, and be patient when thou art changed to a low estate.
Right, that's what we're doing right now. The nation of Israel as a whole is in the lowest state in captivity across the globe, man. Some people are, in prominent positions as far as their wealth and things like that. But as a whole nation, we're behind enemy lines. We're not in our own country. We don't own too much. Some people have prospering stocks and real estate, things like that. But for the most part, we're being chastised by the Most High to do our wickedness as a nation back in the day. Read.
For gold is tried in the fire.
For gold is tried in the fire. Read.
And acceptable men in the furnace of adversity.
So yeah, when you get to Revelation, it says what? Most High is going to set the elect priest pretty much as a burnt offering as well. And that's how you're going to be tried by fire. That affliction, that chastisement, to test your character, to test your patience. That's how you're going to endure this next coming of a judgment. Read.
Believe in him, and he will help thee.
Even the Most High, he's going to help you through that affliction. Help your spiritual walk. Read.
Order thy way aright, and trust in him. Ye that fear the Lord, wait for his mercy, and go not aside lest you fall.
Don't go aside lest you fall. So when you wait for the Most High's mercy, that means you trust him, you have faith it's going to happen. Go ahead.
Ye that fear the Lord, believe him, and your reward shall not fail.
Go ahead.
Ye that fear the Lord, hope for good, and for everlasting joy and mercy.
Exactly. We fear the Lord, we hope for good and everlasting joy and mercy, being in the kingdom of heaven, ruling these other nations, man. Being in perfect peace, not have to worry about working and slaving for month-to-month checks and things like that, or women having adultery and cheating on us, things like that, losing our kids to gun violence and drugs, and them being disobedient. None of that's going to happen if we have faith and trust in the Most High, man.
Right.
And that's what we got to work on every day. And if we keep the laws of God as an adult, teach our children, and they teach their children, eventually we're going to get out of this place. I want it to happen sooner than later, but the Most High's will be done. And give me that.
2 Corinthians 13:5. Examine yourselves whether you be in the faith.
Examine yourselves whether you be in the faith. Because a lot of people say they're Israelites. There's been all type of scandals and stories and things that I've heard along the way in these last 5 years. A lot of things is crazy. Like, this dude did what? Like, he did what? Like, people I didn't even know about, not familiar with, but I'm like, man, this dude, he's on the streets preaching, but he did this wild stuff. You gotta examine yourself whether you're in the faith. You can't be in the faith and committing wickedness like adultery, selling drugs and smoking weed and all that stuff. That's madness, man. That's not being a good example for people that's coming up in this thing. People that might be impressionable upon your actions. thinking they get away with stuff that's gonna get them put to death eventually. That's not examining yourself properly. Go ahead.
Prove your own selves.
Prove your own selves whether you're in the truth or not. Whether you keep these laws uprightly and faithfully and having that fear of the Most High properly. Go ahead.
Know ye not your own selves? How that Yahweh Shah HaMashiach is in you, except you be reprobates?
Exactly. The Most High says He will have His Son dwell in you, meaning the Spirit of Christ, being that person that walks faithfully and keeping the laws of God. But you're not gonna have that spirit in you if you're a reprobate, if you're a reject, if you're not examining yourself and having that proper faith. Because people can claim they have faith all day, but what are their actions? What are their works telling them? That's what Christian churches are failing at. They have all the faith in the world, but faith in what? Like, they have faith in white Jesus, idolatry, Easter, Thanksgiving, Day celebrate all that type of stuff. All that stuff is gonna get them put to death eventually. And all that faith don't mean a damn thing without works, which is the laws of God. Give me something? Oh, yeah, I can. Read this.
Mark chapter 4, verse 14 through 22. The sower soweth the word.
The sower soweth the word. Where are the sowers on the street corners, man? Everybody's like, can't you see every person that teaches the word on the streets, whether it's Friday, Saturday, Sunday, whatever the case may be, we're sowing the word to the nation. Read.
And these are they by the wayside where the word is sown.
Everybody that's not in the truth is people on the wayside hearing the word. Read.
But when they have heard, Satan cometh immediately and taketh away the word that was sown in their hearts. And these are they likewise which are sown on stony ground.
These are the people that are sown on stony ground. They hear it, they walk by it, don't care about it any other time. What? Oh, it's bugged out. Read.
From the top. And these are they likewise which are sown on stony ground, who, when they have heard the word, immediately receive it with gladness.
They receive it with gladness. Read. And what?
And have no root in themselves, and so endure but for a time.
Exactly. They hear it, they're, oh man, made me happy. I'm a chosen people of God. I'm an Israelite. Eventually I can have a slave or two. Hey, that's good. They might think about it for a couple days and then go back to the regular routine. Go ahead.
Afterward, when affliction or persecution ariseth from the word's sake, immediately they are offended.
They're offended at it. Wait a minute. I thought I was supposed to be a God on the earth. I thought I was going to be in rulership. I thought I was going to be prosperous. I thought if I give this 10 hours, it's going to turn into 100, man. And that was what the pastor tell me. That's not how it works. Read that part again.
From the top. And have no root in themselves, and so endure but for a time. Afterward, when affliction or persecution ariseth for the word.
Read that again. Read that part again.
When affliction or persecution ariseth for the word's sake.
When affliction or persecution arises for the word's sake, when you come into this truth and you get chastised, you lose your job, your rib leaves you, whatever the case may be. They had that immediate affliction. What happens, Reed?
Immediately, they are offended.
They're offended, man. This truth is for the birds. I'm not trying to be in this truth no more. But guess what? That's when your faith's being tried. That's when the Most High's trying you to see if you're worthy. Getting that woman out of the way because the Most High probably knows she's wicked as hell, or might have that woman's husband get out of the way. Right. That happens every now and then. Usually, maybe the Most High has a woman come in first, and the man, trails or things like that, or the man comes in and the wife, just loves her husband so much she just want to come in just to be attached to him. That happens all the time too. But sometimes it happens opposite like that. Nigga think they bugged the hell out, or his wife, I think the husband's bugged the hell out. I'm not trying to get with this madness. That's part of the affliction. Guess what? You're not supposed to fold at that, because the Most High might give you a better wife down the line. Go ahead.
And these are they which are sown among thorns, such as hear the word, and the cares of this world, and the deceitfulness of riches, and the lust of other things entering in, choke the word, and it becometh unfruitful.
Exactly. They hear this word, okay, that sounds good, but let me get this money. Let me go sell this dope on this back street. Let me go pimp and pan to my sisters, whatnot, because that's what I'm focused on. That's what I know. That's going to give me this money and give me ahead immediately. Not the word of God. There's no faith involved in that. Because they think that's what Kim is into. Where's the proof? Where's this stuff? Where's the artifacts? That's all they care about. They want to see it to believe it. That type of stuff. We're not waiting for that to happen because we have faith in these prophecies. That's the difference. We don't have to go and look. Oh, this is written in Greek, so it can't be ours. That's not how it works, man. Our people are all over the world, scattered, speaking different languages, writing different languages, all that type of stuff. So there's no problem with reading different languages and reading the New Testament like other people thinking something wrong with it. And quiet as kept, the Greeks conquered Egypt. So what did it say about that? That doesn't make no damn sense, read.
Verse 20. And these are they which are sown on good ground, such as hear the word and receive it and bring forth fruit. Some 30-fold, some 60, and some 100.
The people that hear the word, has it sown in them in their spirit, their subconscious, they take on the truth, they start coming back every week, wearing fringes, things like that. They're the ones that are going to get rewarded 100-fold, 200-fold, bringing other people in the truth, being an example to their children, and saving their household eventually. That's what we got to be accustomed to, man. And that's what comes with examining yourself. Hey, if I'm coming to this truth, I know the most time I put me to the test and test my faith. At the end of the day, you might have things go smoothly for a while. It might be a year or two from now, the most time I chastise you and test you. See if you're really sincere about this walk. Is that it?
And he said unto them, is a candle brought to be put under a bushel or under a bed, and not to be set on a candlestick? Verse 22. For there is nothing hid which shall not be manifested, neither was anything kept secret, but that it should come abroad.
Exactly. So whenever you come into this walk, whether you what are you talking about? Oh, you better know.
No.
That's not Christ. That's not Christ. But anyways, His wallet? Hey man, throw that idol out, man. Burn it, man. Burn that idol. But anyways, when it says putting a candle or something, oh my Lord, that's ridiculous. How do you say burn it in Spanish?
Quémalo. 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 Eso no es Jesucristo, man.
Así nunca tenemos. Y voy.
Show the camera.
Jesucristo, eso no es Jesucristo. Jesucristo era un hombre moreno.
No. Él.
¿Ah?
Él.
¿Sabes quién es él? Él se llama. Él es un hombre que se llama César Borgia. No. Él no es Inri.
Right.
Ese es el hijo del Papa VII del Vaticano.
¿Es móvil?
No.
Yo es móvil, cuando vamos a ir allá. Para más de 5 meses me sale de Egipto. Vos sí, ya. Toda mi pinche madre.
No.
No voy a decir.
Ah man, the people.
No, sí.
You got that. Oh, the rosary too? Lord of Christ. This is bad. This is very bad.
No,
Sucia. Yeah, sucia.
Así es.
Sucia.
He goes, okay. 4:30 at night, you can see him.
4:30 at night. 4:30 is the nighttime. I'm sorry, the sun's up still. It's 7:30. It's 7:30. It's not nighttime yet, buddy. All right, man. Now you're interrupting me. I'm almost done with you, man. What do you got your hands right for? You a boxer, man?
Yeah, boxing and everything.
You know what I said? You know what sucia means, right?
No.
Sucia.
No.
Sucia.
No, pero ¿por qué vamos a quedar?
Can I see it? Let me see. Yeah, let me see it. Let me see it. Yeah, let me see it.
No,
Yeah, let me see it.
no.
What else is in here? Take care of the card out, man. Take care of the card out. Let me see that picture.
That's right.
Yeah, let me see that. Let me see. What she got? On the rosary beads. Oh, you a Catholic?
Es católico.
Ah, man.
No, ya.
Nah, man, this is trash.
Te voy a leer cómo Jesucristo se miraba, ¿ok?
This is sucia.
Ok.
This is trash.
No.
Right.
Yeah.
No. Hey.
Hold this.
Saca la basura.
Tear it up. I'm gonna tear it up.
Let me read this to you first. Ok, mira. Así se miraba Jesucristo, mira. Ok, Apocalipsis 1 y 13. En el medio de los 7 candelarios ve alguien que parecía ser el Hijo del Hombre. ¿Quién es el Hijo del Hombre? Jesucristo, ¿va? Ok. vestido con una ropa que le llegaba hasta los pies y con un cinturón de oro a la altura del pecho, y sus cabellos eran blancos como la blanca lana. ¿Ese tiene blanca lana? ¿Su pelo parece lana? No va.
Sí, como gordito, como él.
Como él. Lana, pelo de lana es como de él. ¿Ok? Mire, como la blanca nieve. Y sus ojos parecían llamas de fuego. Y sus pies brillaban como bronce bruñido. ¿Qué color es bronce?
Bronce, como blanco, como si.
Bronce viene siendo como un centavo.
Sí, así que brilla.
Bronce viene siendo como un centavo. Cafecito, ¿ah?
Sí, pues no
Mira.
sé. No, no.
Fundido en un horno. Fundido en un horno. Cuando uno mete algo en un horno, ¿qué color se pone? Negro, ¿va? Ah, pues Jesucristo era un hombre negro, ¿va? ¿Para qué quiere eso? Si eso no es Jesucristo, pues. Pero si la Biblia dice que él era un hombre oscuro, ¿eh? ¿Ah? Yeah, you said don't drop it. Eso es malo, eso es malo. Dios Altísimo no quiere que andes con eso, ni con eso. Ah, pues no quieres a Dios. ¿Ah? Eso es un ídolo. Eso es un ídolo. Eso es un ídolo. El Dios Santísimo no quiere que andes con eso.
No, sí, así.
El Dios más altísimo, Dios, el Padre Dios, no quiere que ande con eso.
Sí, no sé. Yo ando así, ¿qué me entiendes después? No entiendo todo.
¿Ah? Sí, pero eso no es Jesucristo. ¿Quién es Él? ¿Quién es Él? Pero la Biblia dice que era un hombre moreno.
No,
¿Quién es? ¿Quién es? ¿Quién es? ¿Quién es? ¿Quién es? Ese era, este hombre era. Este hombre era. Mira, este hombre se llamaba César Borgia, hijo del Papa de Vaticano. Él convenció a 4 pintadores para que le pinten la cara de su hijo, para la cara de Jesucristo. Jesucristo no se parecía así. La Biblia dice que era un hombre oscuro, man.
That's it, right?
That's it. Él es.
That's Jesus?
Ese es Jesucristo. Este es el hombre que se llama César Borgia. Era un homosexual y era violador y mató a su propio hermano para que a su cuñado para que se acueste con su hermana. ¿Y ese es Jesucristo? ¿Eso es Jesucristo? No, Jesucristo no quiere imágenes de él. ¿A las 4 qué? ¿4 qué? ¿Y qué? ¿A las 4 de la mañana qué pasó? ¿Un cigarro también? ¿Qué pasó? ¿Qué pasó? ¿Lo quemamos? Porque eso no es Jesucristo ese. Eso no es Cristo. Ese no es Cristo. Jesucristo no se parecía así, men. ¿Ah?
You want this back? You want this?
Quémalo. ¿Lo quemamos para Dios? ¿Lo quemamos? If we'll burn it, he says no. Ah, pues no quieres a Dios. ¿Ah?
What do you say about the Revelation?
¿Y qué pasó en Apocalipsis? ¿Qué? En el libro de Apocalipsis, te enseñamos que el Señor era un hombre moreno. ¿Ah? No era así, cabal, no era así. ¿Ah? 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 Porque eso no es Cristo, man.
Mine now. You gave it to me.
Eso no es Cristo.
I did. You gave it to
Pues
me.
no, pero como
It's mine now.
¿Eh?
It's mine now.
No, pues no, vaya a ver.
Your name on it. It's mine.
Hey, ya.
How long has it been in your wallet, man? This is dirt. Sucia.
Right. De bol, por favor.
How come I can't burn it? It's
No,
Jesus.
de la bol viene. De la
This
bol
Jesus?
de manera de por
Listen,
favor.
I want you to burn it. You burn it.
No, que no, por Dios, ya, que no, ya. Él mi papá, güey, por el vecino, ya fue más bueno. No, desde que
What is it?
no, sí, no.
Micah 1 and 7?
Yeah.
No.
They didn't get that in Habakkuk. 2 and 19.
Micah chapter 1, verse 7.
I'll read it in Spanish.
Yeah, he'll read it in Spanish, but I'll read it for English real quick. Read that.
And all the graven images thereof shall be beaten to pieces,
Graven image. Read.
and all the hires thereof shall be burned with the fire. And all the idols thereof will I lay desolate, for she gathered of a hire of an harlot.
This is a whore. This is an evil whore in the eyes of God. Read.
This is Micah.
Micah 1 and 7 about idols. Read.
Micah
The white Jesus is an idol.
Right.
People need to get rid of and burn. Read.
1 y 7. Todos sus ídolos quedarán hechos pedazos y quemados, todos sus troncos sagrados, pues que fueron hechos con dinero de prostitutas, en dinero de prostitutas los convirtieron otra vez. Lo quemamos. ¿Ah? Micaías 1:7.
Ya se fue a dejar, no, menos nadie.
¿Ah?
Ya se fue a dejar, quémalo.
Quémalo.
No,
Okay, burn it. Burn it.
Burn it. Stay right here. Stay right here. Don't stay right here. Bring it out. Don't stay right here. Go there. Mira.
Mira!
Aquí.
That's right. All praise to the Most High.
That's how we feel about white Jesus.
Right!
Burn his name.
White Jesus. That devil don't want to go yet.
Right!
Así es.
White Jesus. Hold on.
Yeah.
You gotta burn more. That ain't enough.
Burn the street.
Turn them black. That's right. That's right.
Real Yahweh Shah.
That's right.
See?
Bring it out! Right!
Yeah. Anyways, at least he agreed to burn it. He knows what's going on, man. He need to get rid of that rosary too next. But back to our regularly scheduled program. No, listen. You got it. It's a lot. Give me that in Hebrews. Or what was the last thing you read?
Mark.
Yeah, we can see it. Give me that in Hebrews 3 and 12 to 14. 1 Thessalonians 5 and 21. Hebrews 3 and 12 to 14. All praise to the Most High, man.
Right!
Go ahead.
Hebrews 3 and 12. Take heed, brethren, lest there be in any of you an evil heart of unbelief.
It's an evil heart to have no belief in the Most High and His Son. It's supposed to be the OT only bug out, not knowing a damn thing about prophecies and getting confounded left and right on the timelines. It's just simple to be ignorant in these last days, man. The Most High put a spirit of people to go off for the most part, but if you're already elected in 1/3, the Most High gonna make a way and bring you into the fold in perfect timing, man.
Right!
Because everybody will get the same penny whether you've been in the truth 30 years or 6 months when that trumpet blow, man. Go ahead.
And departing from the living God,
Apart from living God, not having the proper faith. Go ahead.
but exhort one another daily,
Exhort one another daily. Build them up. Read.
while it is called to the day, lest any of you be hardened through the deceitfulness of sin. For we are made partakers of Christ. if we hold the beginning of our confidence steadfast unto the end.
We hold our confidence steadfast to the end, having faith in Christ, we can endure to the end, keeping the laws faithfully, building our brothers up when they feel weak in the spirit, or if they fall short in a certain aspect and sin by chance. We got to build each other up and say, hey, don't do it again, because you know better, first and foremost, and you might have to be around certain brothers that have that spirit amongst you so you don't feel weak. And that's what brotherhood is for, man. Being on your own, being by yourself, nobody overseeing your movements and things like that, that can cause you to be lazy and lethargic, man. Not having to do certain things and not be accountable, that's what makes people go off.
Right.
Thinking nobody sees anything, but the Most High sees. And that's the person you gotta fear the most. But that's 14, right? What you have? Yeah. Give me Ecclesiastes 7 and 14 in the NLT. And give me this.
1 Thessalonians chapter 5, verse 21. Prove all things. Hold fast that which is good.
You prove all things, including yourself, man. Prove you're worthy of being in this faith. Prove you're worthy of that grace and mercy the Most High is going to give the elected 1/3 when they live out of America, man.
Right.
Once this place gets bombarded with missiles, are you going to be in that share, man? I hope so. Because nobody wants to be a part of that second death. But, what's the last part say? What?
Prove all things. Hold fast that which is good.
Hold fast that which is good. The law is good. We already know that by all throughout the Old Testament and with Paul's writings. The law is spiritual, the law is good. It's going to build you up, it's going to sustain you. And that wisdom is going to bring you to a kingdom, as it says in Wisdom of Solomon. Read that. Job 5 and 6 to 8. Read.
Ecclesiastes 7 and 14 in the NLT. Enjoy prosperity while you can.
Enjoy prosperity while you can. Read.
But when hard times strike, realize that both come from God.
Both come from God. Whether you being afflicted, whether you on the right hand side, building your wealth, things like that, having a prosperous family, whatever the case may be, both come from the Most High. Read.
Remember that nothing is certain in this life.
Nothing's certain in this life. So the Most High can have you flying high, traveling, having a glorious job, things like that, have your own business, flourishing, and all of a sudden, hey, judgment can come at any point in time to test your faith, test your patience, see if you're going to endure. Because it says acceptable men are tried by fire, man. Everything can be peaches and cream, even in this truth, man. You might be living a righteous life, you might be doing certain things, but guess what? One slip up can cause the Most High to just sprinkle a little judgment on you, just sprinkle a little chastise on you. But guess what? You still gotta have faith and endure and praise the Most High in that affliction as well. What's Buddy talking about? Is that it? Can you give me what I call it? Yeah. Give me Psalms 12 and 6. Read.
Job chapter 5, verse 6 to 8. Although affliction cometh not forth of the dust, neither doth trouble spring out of the ground, yet man is born unto trouble.
Man is born into trouble, so you already promised trouble just for being alive. Not just because you were the truth or not, but trouble is coming just for you being on this wicked earth and set up on your sinful flesh, man. Go ahead.
Yet man is born unto trouble as the sparks fly upward.
As sparks fly upward. Trouble's gonna come. So enjoy prosperity for a little bit. The Most High might chastise you later on down the line, but guess what? You still gotta know it's coming because the Most High can put it on you and then give it over because He loves you and He's gonna chastise you to test your patience, like I said before. Our people gotta know, hey, when somebody dies in your family, when somebody gets thrown in jail or killed, the Most High did it, but it has nothing to do with you. It might have everything to do with you. It might affect you to the core, but guess what? Your life still goes on. You still gotta walk your life out and have faith the Most High go and deliver the rest of your family out of that trouble. Lord willing, you be that number, like I said. Read.
Verse 8. I will seek unto God, and unto God would I commit my cause.
Seriously, that's what we gotta do. Seek unto God and unto the Most High God, Yahweh. We're gonna put our cause, man. The cause is bringing all our people back into His fold and their nationality and our heritage. And that's what we hope for. Because the sooner we all get right, the sooner we get out of this place, and the sooner this place gets destroyed, man. Give me that. Psalms 19 and 7.
Psalms 12 and 6. The words of the Lord are pure words, as silver tried in a furnace of earth, purified 7 times.
Purified 7 times. The Most High's words are pure, and 7 times means what? A number of completion. So the Most High already set His word in stone from the ancient time before we even on this planet. So everything he prophesied, everything he's got judged, the judgment coming from anybody, it's always going to happen. It's going to be righteous judgment because it's according to his will. No matter what we think about it, somebody going through affliction is part of his destiny, man. We have no control over that. All we got to do is walk it out with purpose and hope the Most High, lifts up that affliction up off of us and gets us out of that jam. But is that it? Give me Hebrews 5. Hebrews 5 and 5 and my Lord in Christ. Yeah, 5 and 5 and 7 through 11.
Psalm chapter 19, verse 7 through 11. The law of the Lord is perfect, converting the soul.
Those pure words are the laws of God, man. That's what we started out with. Being holy and separate, having the laws of God of business. Read.
The testimony of the Lord is sure, making wise the simple. The statutes of the Lord are right, rejoicing the heart. The commandment of the Lord is pure, enlightening the eyes.
Yeah, the commandment of the Lord is pure, enlightening the eyes, making you awake, making you alive. That's what's enlightening your eyes. You have wisdom. You know what's going on whenever you see things. Go ahead.
The fear of the Lord is clean, enduring forever. The judgments of the Lord are true and righteous altogether.
The judgments of the Lord are true and righteous altogether. Read.
More to be desired are they than gold, yea, than much fine gold. Sweeter also than honey and the honeycomb. Verse 11. Moreover, by them is thy servant warned, and in keeping of them there is great reward.
Moreover, by the wisdom, you're going to be warned by it, because that's what people are supposed to do. When you see a sign that says stop, hey, or a stop sign, what you going to do? You're going to stop, right? Because you don't know if an intersection car can come and T-bone you, how you flying the other way. It's just a right. It's just a reckless thing to do. Following the Most High's instruction, man. That's what we're supposed to do as a nation. Give me you have Hebrews. Wait a minute. Oh, you Hebrews 5, yeah. 1 Peter 2 and 2. What's going on, sister?
Hello.
How you doing? You have any questions?
No.
You guys listening?
Yes.
Have you heard an Israelites before, sis?
Yes.
You have?
Yes.
Okay, cool. What'd you hear about us?
My ex used to talk about the Israelites.
What's that?
My ex, he used to tell me about the Israelites.
Oh, okay. Do you believe in the Israelite information? Do you believe you're an Israelite?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. That's good. How long you know about that? What's
like
that?
5 years. 5.
Oh, wow, 5
I
years?
We heard that 5 years.
That's cool, that's cool. Well, hey, all praise to the Most High. You familiar with the information? You know, the key thing is what you do with the information. Knowing that you're a child of God means you gotta do, walk accordingly. Keep the laws of God.
Right.
That's the main objective we're trying to teach our people. I'm not sure if you are walking in that right now, but we definitely implore you to get right before that judgment day, you know?
Right.
All right, sister. But read that. Hebrews 5 and 5 now.
Hebrews 5 and 5. So also Hamashiach Christ glorified not himself to be made an high priest, but he that said unto him, Thou art my son, today I have begotten thee. As he said also in another place, Thou art a priest forever after the order of Melchizedek.
Christ is a priest forever after the order of Melchizedek. That's what it says in Psalms 110, with King David speaking. So we're all priests under the Melchizedek priesthood, meaning what? We're not Levites, but we're all authorized to preach and teach our people the laws of God. Read.
Who in the days of his flesh, when he had offered up prayers and supplications with strong crying and tears unto him that was able to save from death,
Talking about Christ crying to the Most High. Read.
it was heard in that he feared, though he were a son, yet learned the obedience by the things which he suffered.
Christ had to learn obedience with the things he suffered, just like the nation of Israel is doing right now. We gotta learn how to get right. Just like a child with his, like we read earlier, like a father with his son or a daughter or whatnot. When you punish that child, they're gonna learn like, hey, pain came with the last thing I did. That's just I made just now. I had to get pain came with that. So let me think about what I did and not do it as much. That's what happens. That's how you get right. You learn it through your pain. Read.
And being made perfect, he became the author of eternal salvation unto them all, and to all them that obey him.
Exactly. Christ was made an eternal salvation to all them that obey him. And so guess what? Here's an example we had to say, which we're going to read in this verse. Here's the perfect example you got to look to. Hey, he could do it, so we can do it. That's the point. The Most High sent him to be the example for us. Instead of us having to give sacrifices in the temple and slaughter animals, that's when Paul says, "Well, you got to present your body living sacrifice." Now Christ was a sacrifice in his body, dying for our sins, things like that, keeping the law perfectly. So once we do what he did, that's when we're going to get that eternal salvation, and everlasting life for being people that have faith and do the works. Give me Deuteronomy 18 and 18. Read.
Like, you 2 Peter what?
First Peter 2.
Oh, first.
20 and 25.
First Peter 2, 20 to 25. For what glory is it if when ye be buffeted for your faults, ye shall take it patiently?
You take the things that you're buffeted, which means people putting affliction on you, take it patiently. That's the whole concept of this lesson, man. We're being afflicted in our land of captivity, and we're still in the truth. But guess what? We got to take it patiently, read.
But if, when you do well and suffer for it, you take it patiently, this is acceptable with God.
Exactly. Take things to do well and suffer patiently with it. We're being classified as future terrorists, being classified as bigots and racists, which is fine, whatever. But we're living as close to a sinless life as anybody else will. The Christian church don't do what we do. They don't come out in the elements, teach our people, and tell them what they're going off at. They say, "Oh, come as you are." We have homosexuals in the choir and adulterous pastors, all that stuff. It's just fine.
Right.
We'll still give you money. We'll still support your cause. We'll still come to your church, and we'll still give you praise, sing you praises. We're not praising God in this church. We're praising the Christian pastor, man. That's madness.
Right.
Read that again.
Verse 20 from the top. For what glory is it if when ye buffeted for your faults, ye shall take it patiently? But if when you do well and suffer for it, ye take it patiently, this is acceptable with God.
It's acceptable with God when you take that chastisement patiently, man. That's what we're supposed to do as people that disobeyed him all the way back in the ancient world. Read.
For even hereunto were ye called, because Christ also suffered for us, leaving us an example that ye should follow his steps.
Christ left us an example as Israelites. The Israelites should follow his steps. That's why he's made an author of our salvation. That's how you get salvation, keeping the laws of God and having faith. And if he sent his son to be that example to us, why not be that example and do exactly what he did? Let's go elaborate. Read.
Who did no sin.
Who did no sin. Christian church, hey, we're sinners, but we're still going to be saved. Oxymoron, it's crazy. Read.
Neither was God found in his mouth. Verse 23. Who, when he was reviled not again. When he suffered, he threatened not, but committed himself to him that judgeth righteously.
Christ committed himself to the Most High Yahweh, who does righteous judgment, not for doing things that's contrary to their own personal doctrines and commandments of men. That's what Christ was against. He wasn't against the laws of God, because he told people to look to the Pharisees when they tell you to get the commandments. That's righteous in the eyes of God. But being jealous of people following him because he's got hit on people and things like that, and teaching the perfect doctrine, that's when that's when Christ said, "Hey, I'm giving myself to the Most High. It's sent me to do his work." Go ahead.
Verse 24. Who his own self bare our sins in his own body on the tree, that we, being dead to sins, should live unto righteousness. By those stripes ye were healed. Verse 25. For you were as sheep going astray.
They said basically as sheep going astray. What is Most High sheep? His children. We went astray by breaking the laws, being scattered abroad. Read.
But are now returned unto the shepherd and bishop of your souls.
Returned unto Christ, who's the example we're supposed to follow, and that's where we're going to get into the marriage again with Yahweh in that kingdom, man. And that's our hope. But give me read that.
Deuteronomy 18 and 18.
NLT again, actually. I've been reading the NLT kind of a little bit more. It's a little, what's that? Oh yeah, homosexuality is running rampant in this place. Clan clashes, crazy. Don't make no goddamn sense. But give me that. Oh, you got the NLT? Hey man, you gotta call it how you see it. It's a lot. I'm at the end of that. Yeah, man, it's just disgusting to see. Man. I see him standing over there. I'm like, all right, whatever. Which one's the guy?
Right.
Deuteronomy 18 and 18 in the NLT. I will raise up a prophet like you from among their fellow Israelites. I will put my words in his mouth, and he will tell the people everything I command him. I will personally deal with anyone who will not listen to the messages the prophet proclaims on my behalf.
So, Yahweh, through Moses, said, I'm going to personally deal with whoever doesn't listen to this man's words. It's not talking about Israel. I'm sorry. Israel was just described. He had some prophecies as well, but it's talking about Yahweh, man. The world calls Jesus Christ.
Right.
So whoever doesn't want to hearken to Jesus Christ, doesn't want to believe in him, listen to him, and Moses said he's going to personally deal with you. That is a crazy thing to listen to hear in the Bible. Because our people are so caught up in, like you said, translations, things like that. Oh, I don't want to listen to anything that's not written in Hebrew, whatever. But the prophecies bear witness to the truth, man. But bear witness to Yahweh's existence along with his history. And we all know we were still in the land during the Greek and Roman captivity. So you gonna tell me we weren't writing anything? They'll go to the Qumran and look at all them scrolls, and there's Greek scrolls in there. Why don't you take that into consideration? Doesn't make no damn sense. But anyways, that's why we gotta follow Christ's example, because he's the one that's gonna bring us back to the Most High, like I said before. And like I said, if you don't want to listen to him, hey, Most High gonna see you. He gonna put you to death. Give me Proverbs 16 and 1 3. Go ahead.
Matthew chapter 10, verse 39 to 41. He that findeth his life shall lose it.
He that finds his life is gonna lose it. You think you're gonna get ahead in life without who the world calls Christ, without the Most High Yahweh? You're gonna lose your life. You're gonna die in that second death, going astray. Read.
And he that loseth his life for my sake shall find it.
You lose your life for the world calls Christ's sake, following his ways, following that example, like I said, doing the will of God, which is Christ's only mission, preaching the gospel as well. Read.
Verse 40. He that receiveth you receiveth me, and he that receiveth me receiveth him that sent me.
Yeah, you're going to be received by the Most High Yahweh, because Christ is that messenger. Read. Go ahead.
What is it to receive life? What does that mean?
What's that? Receive life. Give me that in Revelation 22, or is it 21? And then give me that Deuteronomy 30. You know what I want? Revelation?
Yeah. So if I give up my life, I gain life.
Correct.
Right? What does that
Where
mean?
you at? Let me see. 22. So that give me 22 and 1.
Revelation 22 and 1. And he showed me a pure river of water of life, clear as crystal, proceeding out to the throne of God and of the Lamb.
That water of life is referencing the words. Give me that John 6 and 63 actually. That's when I should have went to after this, but John 6 and 63. Go ahead.
John 6 and 63. It is the spirit that quickeneth. The flesh profiteth nothing. The words that I speak unto you, they are spirit and they are life.
The words that I speak unto you, they are spirit, they are life. So what's life? What's that? Yeah, exactly. But
Right.
the word is what? We're gonna read it. Go ahead.
Deuteronomy chapter 30, verse 15 and 16. See, I have set before thee this day life and good, and death and evil. In that I command thee this day to love the Lord thy God, to walk in his ways, and to keep his commandments and his statutes and his judgments, that thou mayest live and multiply. And the Lord thy God shall bless thee in the land whither thou go is to possess it. Okay. Verse 17. But in thine heart turn away, so that thou wilt not hear. Oh, Slakia. But if thine heart turn away, so that thou wilt not hear, but shalt be drawn away and worship other gods and serve them, I denounce unto you this day that ye shall surely perish, and that ye shall not prolong your days upon the land whither thou passeth over Jordan to go possess it.
So if you don't keep the laws of God, you're choosing death. You're going to be in captivity. Exactly. So that everlasting life is what? Being in rulership, having your own sovereignty in our land. It's not talking about just living, just breathing. It's talking about, hey, living life on top. Being in rulership like we're supposed to be. We're supposed to be ruling the earth. Like I said in the second Ezra, the world was made for the Israelites' sake. So that's life. We're not living life right now, living paycheck to paycheck. We're alive, we're breathing, we're eating, we're going to clubs, we're driving cars, and whatever the case may be. That's not living life. We're not happy as a nation. There's some people that's above everybody else, but guess what? They're probably gonna sell their soul to do it. Being a celebrity, things like that. That's not what we want. Exactly.
Right.
Doing all type of abominable acts just to get ahead. We don't have to do that. We keep the laws of God. God's gonna give us that life.
Right.
We're gonna be, like I said, in rulership and having the dictatorship over these other nations, man. And they're gonna get down and lay down eventually. Is that it? Give me is that it? Oh, you back at Matthew? Okay, yeah. Give me yeah, that's all. Go ahead.
Verse 41. He that receiveth a prophet in the name of a prophet shall receive a prophet's reward.
If you receive a prophet in the name of a prophet, you can get a prophet's reward. Meaning what? When people come out and teach the word, like you read earlier about, I think it's in Mark, you sow the word to somebody, they take heed to it, they multiply it, and get more gifts after that, or get more fruit after that. Meaning people don't come in off of what you're doing. Like, I started with, it was me and him. What's that? Oh, over there? It was probably over there. I mean, there's plenty of videos of me on YouTube, but I'm just saying, like, I don't know where I was at, but yeah, it was only me and him at first. That was what? 2 years ago, maybe? 3 years ago? Yeah, that was like 2018. It was only me and him. Then he came in. Then he came in. Then he came in. Now we got like 9 deep. Some person left. It's not a problem. We don't have no say so about that. But we started 2 deep. Now we're like 9, 10 deep. There's more people that watch this. I just went to Atlanta for Passover, and people come up to me like, "Oh man, I like how you teach." I'm like, I'm getting love. Oh wow, like people really watch our channel. Like, okay, it's powerful. But I'm just saying, like, that's the type of fruit we want. People to come into the truth, watch our videos. Hey, I'm getting inspired by you. I like how you teach. I like how you do certain things.
Right.
You be doing anything out there. Okay, all praise to the Most High.
I mean, when I first saw y'all too, like, looking at y'all, I thought y'all was nerds. But then when y'all speak, like,
Hey man, I'll be a nerd for the Most High, man. I ain't mad at you.
but yeah, no
Exactly.
disrespect, you know what I'm saying?
Hey man, all of us in the streets up here, bro. I'm just saying, like,
I believe it.
it ain't about how we look, because I see, 200, 300 pound people pull straps and kill people just like 14, 15. I'm just saying, like, it's not about how you look. Like, nerds can still shoot somebody just like anybody else.
Man, I
Like,
heard the lion when y'all spoke, though.
exactly, that's what I'm saying. Like,
Oh, shit,
it's all about having confidence. Knowing the Most High will kill us if we don't do this work. That's how I feel about it. Is that it? Give me that.
And he that receiveth a righteous man in the name of a righteous man shall receive a righteous man's reward.
Receive a righteous man, basically taking heed of what he's talking about. You're going to receive a righteous man's reward, which is what? The everlasting life, that kingdom, that crown of life. But give me that. Give me 2 Corinthians 1 and 3 to 7. Give me that, 1 to 3.
Proverbs 16 and 1. The preparations of the heart in man, and the answer of the tongue is from Yahweh. All the ways of a man are clean in his own eyes, but Yahweh weigheth the spirits.
What's going on? Oh, okay. Read that again.
Verse 1, the preparation of the heart in man, and the answer of the tongue is from the Lord.
Whatever Most High is planning for you to say, Most High going to put on his spirit to say. That's what Yahushua told as well. Read.
all the ways of a man are clean in his own eyes.
You might think you might do the right thing. It's clean in your own eyes. You wise in your own eyes. But the Most High does what, read?
But the most High weigheth the spirit.
It's your spirit, whether you're doing right or wrong. And he still might have you go on a left-hand path and he put you to death eventually because you already signed up for it. Most High predestined the person for that, read?
Commit thy works unto God,
Commit your works unto God, read?
and thy thoughts shall be established.
Thoughts will be established. Everything that you do for future reference, the Most High can put on your spirit to stay on that righteous path. Somebody else will see it, hey, might join you on that path, build you up as well, give you motivation, or vice versa. And then, like I said, that's how you get the state of that brotherhood and that truth. What's that? Second Corinthians? Romans 8 and 18. You're going to read the whole chapter. Maybe you're going to close it out time. Give me that.
2 Corinthians chapter 3, verse 1 through 7. Do we begin again to commend ourselves? Or need we, as some others, epistles of commandments, commendations to you, or letters of commendations from you? Ye are our epistle written in our hearts.
The people that we're teaching are the epistle written in our hearts. So the more we teach, the more people are coming to this faith. That's the epistle we want to tell other people about. Hey, we was preaching this word on the street corner assistance mission 3-4 years ago. Now other people are in this truth because of us. Obviously because of the Most High, but us being in this walk, in this particular city, draw people to us, and they want to do His work as well. That's the epistle he's talking about. Read.
Ye are our epistle in our hearts, known and read of all men.
Known and read of all men. That example we said, that fruit we put out, and people sow into the word, the Most High planted a seed in them to come seek us out, and obviously join to do this work. That's what's going to be seen in men.
Right.
From 2 to 4 to 8 to 10 to how many people are going to join this camp. That's what's going to be read in people's hearts. Hey, we got a big over time. Because this is true. Go ahead. Go ahead.
For as much as ye are manifestly declared to be the epistle of Christ ministered by us, written not with ink, but with the Spirit of the living God, not in tables of stone, but in fleshly tables of the heart.
Go ahead.
Verse 4, and such trust have we through Christ to Godward. Verse 5, not that we are sufficient of ourselves to think anything as of ourselves, but our sufficiency is of God.
Our sufficiency is of God. We're not looking for the Most High. He wakes us up every morning. He makes sure we're fed and clothed and housed. And He makes sure we have that peace of mind coming out in these streets, knowing that we're going to be protected with anything we do. Or we got to get loud with somebody, curse somebody out, whatever the case may be. Call somebody out on their BS. Hey, we're not worried about a damn thing out here, man.
Right.
Most High got us and the angels that camp around the people that fear. Read.
Who also have made us able ministers of the New Testament, not of the letter, but of the Spirit.
Go ahead.
For the letter killeth, but the Spirit giveth life.
The Spirit gives us life. That's why Yahweh said, the words that I speak are spirit and are life. Because it's not about being carnal, sacrificing, like I said, physical things. You got to sacrifice your mind and how you think. And that's why He also says, we read earlier, what? He that loses his life in my sake, he's going to find it. Because you put away the things that you want for the Most High's will, that's what's going to put things in place for you to be successful and be happy in that regard. Even though we don't do this work 7 days a week, but it's always in our heart, it's always in our mind. We always have the law on our mind, man, and our love for our people. Is that it? Go ahead. 7? Go ahead.
Verse 7. But if the ministration of death written and engraven in stones was glorious, so that the children of Israel could not steadfastly behold the face of Moses for the glory of his countenance, which glory was to be done away.
Is that what I go for? Where are you at?
Verse 7.
Hold on. That's not. Hold on.
Oh, slide.
2 Corinthians 1, 3 to 7.
Oh, I thought you said 3.
I was like, wait a minute, that's not what I called. I was like, wait, I don't remember reading that. Go ahead.
This is the book of 2 Corinthians, chapter 1, verse 3 to 7. Blessed be God, even the Father of our Lord Jesus Christ, the Father of mercies and the God of all comfort, who comforted us in all our tribulation.
Most how I say they'll comfort us in all our tribulation. So that's where patience comes in. Knowing that you got to go through affliction, even though we're loved to God, we're his children, he's going to comfort us after we go through that affliction. That's how you beat your kid, let them cry for about 30 minutes, come back in their head. You know why I beat you, son and daughter? That's why I beat you, but I still love you though. Don't do that again. That's how it works. Go ahead.
That we may be able to comfort them which are in any trouble. By the comfort wherewith we ourselves are comforted of God. For as the sufferings of Christ abound in us, so our consolation also aboundeth by Christ.
Exactly. Even though Christ had to die on the cross, he did it for a purpose, to save the nation of Israel and cleanse us of our prior sins, like it says in Isaiah 53 and Paul's epistle. Go ahead.
Verse 6, and whether we be afflicted, it is for your consolation and salvation.
Exactly. Whether we be afflicted is for your consolation and salvation. Being afflicted and then getting the reward afterwards is what we're going to go through, man. And that's what it says, and I believe in Micah, I believe. As woman in travail, we're going to go through Babylon and get saved out of our affliction slash captivity. Go ahead.
Which is effectual in the enduring of the same offerings, which is effectual in the enduring of the same sufferings which we also suffer. Or whether we be comforted, it is for your consolation and salvation. Verse 7. And our hope of you is steadfast, knowing that as ye are partakers of the sufferings, so shall ye be also of the consolation.
Exactly. Even though we're all going to be partaking of the suffering, we might be in Jacob's trouble together. Some people might die before us, some people might die afterwards. Who knows? We're all going to be partakers in that consolation, that prize, which is that everlasting life in the kingdom. Whether you're the elect or not, we're still going to all be in the same place. We're with these other nations. That everlasting life. That's what it's going into. Give me Sirach 23, the last one I want. And give me 18 all the way down.
Romans 8 and 18, for I reckon that the sufferings of this present time are not worthy to be compared with the glory which shall be revealed in us.
Exactly. Everything we're going through right now is not gonna be remembered when we get to that kingdom of heaven, man. This is just a small thing, man. It's not nothing that we gotta worry about, because the Most High already got to set the stone for the people that are already predestined to get that root, or some of that first resurrection, which is the elect of 1/3. Go ahead.
For the earnest expectation of the creature waited for the manifestation of the sons of God. For the creature was made subject to vanity, not willingly, but by reason of him who hath subjected the same in hope. Because the creature itself also shall be delivered from the bondage of corruption into the glorious liberty of the children of God. For we know that the whole creation groaneth and travaileth in pain together until now. And not only they, but ourselves also, which have the first fruits of the Spirit, even we ourselves groan within ourselves, waiting for the adoption to wit,
Waiting for the adoption, us to be back with the Most High, right?
the redemption of our body.
Redemption of our body. Have that glorified body eventually, right?
For we are saved by hope, but hope that is seen
Hope that is seen, right?
is not hope.
Not hope. That's what I was bringing up earlier about these Cometians or these damn Egyptologists. They want to dig up bones. Oh, there's bones of this king and this dynasty. Who cares?
Right.
That's your practice. We didn't have that practice in Israel. We didn't embalm our bodies. We didn't care about that. We weren't having sex with corpses like the damn Cometians, right? Having, semen lettuce, bro. That's craziness, bro. We didn't do all that. We didn't use crocodile poop as a contraceptive in Israel. Sorry. We didn't do any of that. You see? That's just the matters that they did. But that's what I'm saying. They want to sign and, we have bones and this and this. What about you guys? Like, who cares? They didn't see the bit of money. And just say it's, every bones they find in Israel, they like confiscate it and hide it and things like that. They know what they're doing. Go ahead.
For what a man seeth, why doth he yet hope for it?
But if you see it already, what are you hoping for? You have hope in an airplane, but you're already in an airplane. I'm like, okay, it's pretty much routine. There's a very small percentage of airplanes that crash and burn. And it says they crash at what? In the first 2 minutes of taking off from landing. That's the only time they crash. it's very rare a plane gonna crash. I understand. If he already know you in the air and you on the way to some location, you can just relax. You good. But where's the hope of that? Go ahead.
But if we hope for that we see not, then do we with patience wait for it. Likewise, the Spirit also helpeth our infirmities.
The Spirit helps our infirmities, so we're patiently waiting. We know when it's going to come. We know if we're going to die before that time, or if it's going to last another 150 years. Who knows? But we still have faith that the words are going to stand firm. Right. These promises will come to pass, right?
For we know not what we should pray for as we ought. But the Spirit itself maketh intercession for us with groanings which cannot be uttered. And he that searcheth the hearts knoweth what is the mind of the Spirit.
The Most High already knows the mind of the Spirit what we need to pray for before we even say anything. Even though we have prayers that we can say and chant Matthew 6 and Numbers 6 and Shema and all that stuff, we can pray anything outside of that as well. But the Most High already knows what He's going to give us and what we're going to pray for. Read.
Because he maketh intercession for the saints.
Intercession for the saints, the Israelites. Read.
According to the will of God.
According to the will of God, the promise. The covenant that He made, He's not going to break that covenant. Read.
And we know that all things work together for good to them that love God, to them who are the called according to His purpose.
Who's the called according to His purpose? You read that in Isaiah, the 41st chapter. The Israelites. And we're the saints. So this is talking about the Israelites all throughout the Bible. Paul's not talking about the white Romans, man. Go ahead.
For whom he did foreknow, he also did predestine.
He predestinated the Israelites, read.
To be conformed to the image of His Son.
He predestinated the elect to be conformed to Yahushua, to be the elect in that regard, following his example like we read earlier, read.
That he might be the firstborn among many brethren. Moreover, whom he predestinated, them he also called, and whom he called, them he also justified.
He's going to justify people that have already been predestinated, the elect, read.
And whom he justified, them he also glorified.
Have glorified that glorified body. When that missile drop, people get taken up, those are people that are going to be part of the elect, the 1/3, read.
What shall we then say to these things? If God be for us, who can be against us?
God for the Israelites, who can be against us? Even though we're suffering right now, He's still going to be for us in the time to come, in the world to come. Read.
He that spared not his own Son, but delivered him up for us all, how shall he not with him also freely give us all things? Who shall lay anything to the charge of God's elect?
Who's going to charge of God's elect with any type of crime, or any type of hate attack, any type of subtle lie, things like that? It says in Revelation, I believe, the 14th chapter, the elect are going to be blameless, man. Spotless, without God, anything like that. So whatever they do over the course of this time, before that time comes, most sides will pardon their sins. Read.
It is God that justifieth.
God that justifies everybody. Read.
Who is he that condemneth? It is Christ that died, yea, rather, that it is risen again, who is even at the right hand of God, who also maketh intercession for us. Who shall separate us from the love of Christ? Shall tribulation or distress, or persecution or famine, or nakedness or peril, or sword? As it is written, for thy sake we are killed all day long. We are accounted as sheep for the slaughter. Nay, in all these things we are more than conquerors.
In all these things we're more than conquerors. We got to go through famine, betrayal, anything like that. Nothing's going to separate us from the Most High having love for us and saving us, man. We got to suffer all that stuff and have confidence we're going to get through it. And have faith. Read.
Through him that loved us. For I am persuaded that neither death nor life, nor angels, nor principalities, nor powers, nor things present, nor things to come, nor height, nor depth, nor any other creature shall be able to separate us from the love of God, which is Hamashiach Yahushua, our Lord.
Exactly. That's how it works, man. And nothing's going to separate us from the Most High's love, being His children that He chose from the foundation of the world. Give me that last one. We're going to close out. Read.
Sirach chapter 23, verse 27 to 28. And they that remain shall know that there is nothing better than the fear of the Lord, and that there is nothing sweeter than to take heed unto the commandments of the Lord. It is great glory to follow the Lord, and to be received of him is long life.
See the Most High is long life, man. That's what we gotta do. Endure to the end. Don't worry about what other people think, whether being chastised or not. And our people gotta get right and examine themselves, knowing, hey, this ain't the end.
Right.
You might be up, you might be down one day, but the Most High will tell you, hey, there's better days to come. And that's what we gotta get used to. But we're gonna close out and give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, by Hashem, Mashiach, Yahweh Shai, and say Shalom.
Shalom.